Howdy, 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 my name's Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Read Prequel, or Making a Cat Cry the Adventure. Last time, bad things happened to Katia, and then more bad things happened to Katia, but it is called Making a Cat Cry the Adventure, so I'm pretty sure that it's just gonna be a lot of bad things happening to Katia. So, Jakashi wrote, I would append to the quest log, eat food. Sneaky Robot wrote, also add revenge to your quest log, good old-fashioned down-home revenge. Squiggles wrote, aw yes, we're official adventurers now. Hey Katia, we're gonna give you so many quests through sheer numbers alone, you'll have to succeed at some of them. I'm pretty sure I've already read this page. I wonder what, yes, I've already read this page, so moving on. I've not ever actually gone this far down the page, that was a mistake. Now we have to find the Arena Master, because this is the last thing I did. Because sometimes I click the next page and then stop, but it looks like this time I did not do that. Erk! Iron Saber 48649 wrote, check Eyeball and the Arena Master. You save some time by doing both at once. The Arena Master compliments you on the nice injury. Thanks, you say. You can't see shit out of it. Let's see. Wrote, somebody wrote, cut eye holes in cape, be spooky ghost dancer. Nitroglide wrote, God, it looks like you'll have to answer that dance competition considering you don't have any other options left, but before you make it official, you should try to ask if you can get those clothes without entering the competition itself. It probably won't work, but you should at least try. Anyway, the arena! This arena! There was a dance competition or something here, right? Yes, he sighs. About every week or so, there's one happening the day after tomorrow. Can someone still sign up for that? The orc says he cannot fathom why any self-respecting individual would want to, but yes, someone could. And you've heard some arenas give all the competitors armor and stuff to make sure they're outfitted the same way. Is there anything like that here? Yes, the orc replies. As tribute to his arena's golden age, they still outfit all competitors with their choice of a light or heavy Kvatch I'm sorry, are you wearing a bedsheet? No, you explain, this is a priceless tapestry professionally emblazoned with the white flag of surrender. You were looking through your vast wardrobe for something to wear today, and this just seemed the most appropriate. Tell me more about the free outfit. Right. The orc explains that there is an armored arena arraignment. A standard issue, back when this place had real fights and he gave a damn. As back then, the competitor gets a choice between light or heavy arraignment when they sign up. So I could actually request a heavy armor for a dance competition? Not if you're trying to convince him you have any intent of actually competing, he says. Fair enough. Though, about that. Hypothetically, if I did sign into this dance competition thing, would there be any sort of obligation to actually go through with it? Anything binding me into it? No, the orc says. Theoretically, you could just mislead him, sign up, take his fancy arena armor, and leave forever. There's really nothing he could do to stop you if you did. That's the first good news I've heard all day! But I won't do that. Pat, Pat. You tell the arena master you respect his profession running an arena and all. After you change, you will even leave him this blanket as collateral if he wants. He asks you why there are 2 holes torn in it. You tell him that you didn't want to be recognized on the way over, so you kind of ghosted. In retrospect, you guess you only needed 1. This guy wrote, dancing contest is not an option if it involves pole dancing. Find out what the rules are. Meet competitors, see them in action if possible. Playing with fire is dangerous. Haven't you heard it? Take precautions at least. Ransom wrote, also, if you do consider entering said competition, read the rules very, very carefully. Don't want to miss any loopholes you could exploit or embarrassing stipulations. You apologize for taking up so much of his time. You have just a couple more questions you want to clear up before committing yourself to anything. Assuming you actually do compete, there is a potential cash prize, right? Yes, he says. The exact amount varies. It's a cut of the admission fees, depending on how many bored people come to gawk. You ask whether magic is allowed. Your relationship with it right now is a little complicated, but you want to know if the option is on the table. He says you can use anything you need, magic, potions, a bone mold shield, whatever. You ask him if the dance has to be something sleazy. He reminds you that you were the one who got half naked and started clamoring all over lampposts. He had nothing to do with that. Oh. Right, and lastly, you ask him what your chances are of actually winning this, hypothetically, if you entered. He tells you that the very fact you're having this conversation means you put more thought into this than anyone else who has ever come through those doors, ever, so probably pretty good. Robberman wrote, ignore the issues with doing anything stupid or degrading, acquire clothes. Alright then, you guess, what do you have to do to sign up? The arena master says there's just one question you have to answer. Blue team. or a yellow team. You ask him what that means. He tells you that the competition is team-based and you're even right now. It just determines what color raiment you get and whether you're teamed with the Nord or the Dunmer. Usually just shuffle someone like you onto yellow with the Nord for color consistency, but he figures he might as well give you the choice. Maybe let you turn this into a gent versus ladies thing if you want. So, yellow or blue, what will it be, Khajiit? Let's see, other commands. Democracy wrote, Yellow, 57 supporters. Blue, 58 supporters. Pseudonymous wrote, make it blue. Boop. That looks pretty nice. Plus the angled boot cuffs from Baron von Something's design. Vins wrote, well, you still got plenty of time before the competition. In the long run, you gotta get the letter from the bookstore guy and buy Kovi's book before Aztil shows up to escort you back. You have 2 or 3 days, if memory serves. As for today, you can train with the geezer from Hammerfell with the axe and then end the day helping that elf with his sign. Professor Zorbot wrote, go with blue. The garb will look better and we'll meet and work with someone we haven't met before. Just hope that we can find a way to have Katia stick the landing on this one, so to speak. If she wins that cash prize, it'll help her at least a little. Hey! You ask Ilden if he's seen a Dunmer lady around, Dark Elf. You just signed up for a thing and apparently you're going to be on a team with her and... yeah. Dunmer lady? He ponders for a moment, but confesses that no one in Kvatch comes to mind. If she's visiting, you'll probably want to check with an innkeep Mannigan, was it? You nod and sit down to rest your legs a bit. Well, then ask how your employment is going. You do your best to fake a friendly laugh and admit that it could be going better, you guess? You had a package you're supposed to deliver back to Anvil, except you managed to let it get stolen last night with pretty much all your other belongings. You just got back from a visit to the sender, who had some not too kind words about your professionalism as a courier. He agreed to draft a new letter if you came back when he was less busy, though. You guess it'll be one explaining to Quillweave that there used to be a package too until the worthless courier lost it. And when you get back to Anvil, you were hoping maybe you could try joining the Mages Guild again, except after last night you apparently lost your ability to control magic for some reason, and you're not sure if it's ever coming back, not to mention your starry-eyed perception of mages recently had a pretty big hole blown in it, and you're not even sure if you even care about magic anymore. So yeah, everything's going pretty badly right now. On the bright side, at least you managed to find somewhere to stay last night. Really? Well, they mentioned they heard a rumor that someone found you passed out naked, and you let him know that he's totally decimating your meager remaining semblance of positive thinking. He apologizes. It's fine, you say. Contemptible comedian wrote, for the nine's sake, becoming hardened and world-weary already. Oh, become hardened and world-weary already. You can't play too cute and innocent cat girl anymore. That shit obviously hasn't been working. Yesterday, he mentioned he used to train for the Fighters Guild and offered to maybe show you some tricks sometime. You ask him if it's possible that's still a thing? Sure beats sitting out here feeding non-existent birds, he says. You looking to learn how to fight? You tell him you don't know. You just kind of want to do something, so that it doesn't feel like a complete mistake, you guess? And you never know when you might need to fight something. He tells you that's a better reason than most folks would have. Come on, he's got to go find a shield. By the way, mind if I ask a question? Hilda says it's fine by him. Can't think of any reason he would. What do you know about Sigrid? The lovely lady from the Mages Guild? About as much as anyone in town does, he figures. What are you looking to find out? Gather information. IKEA Rat wrote, I would love to hear Katia say I want to rip her a new asshole with a red-hot poker. Sneaky Robot wrote, be careful and cautious. If he really likes Sigrid, you don't want to alienate him by implying anything unsavory about her. Test the waters in the most benign, natural way you can think of. XP wrote, regarding what are you looking to find out? Everything. Anything, really? You're just looking to learn more about her. You explained that you met her last night. She was very charming. Really knew what she was doing. The guild hall looked like she only recently moved in, though. Ilden tells you that you're right on that. She only moved to Kvatch a year or two ago. It ain't a big secret that the local guild hall used to be a necromancy study ground. Lots of really eerie folks in there doing wrong things. He isn't sure where Sigrid moved from, but once she got to the Kvatch Mages Guild, she cleaned the place up into a respectable establishment. Cleaned it up good. You point out that it wasn't actually very clean in there. In fact, the place was kind of a mess. It had animals running around. Ilden says it was a metaphor. You can't expect the poor woman to actually clean the place on top of everything else she does. She's already running the whole place on her own, well, her and that skeevy priest boy. Anyhow, once she got settled in, the first thing she did was work her way around different establishments in town, chatted with folks, told them all the good a Mage's Guild could do, potions, protective spells, and the like. The girl had a silver tongue and a heart of gold. By the end of the day, I dare say she was something of a local hero. Does she have any enemies? You tell Ilden that you have a hard time envisioning any one person, like, actually making all the friends. There's no one at all who'd even hold a grudge against her? He reckons there have been a few people who weren't too pleased with her at first, mostly mage folk from out of the university who thought she was up to something shady, from what he's gathered. They always come around once she had a chance to speak with them, of course. You still got the little wood chopper from yesterday? The, hatchet, you explained that half of it was eaten by slaughterfish and half of it was stolen. It didn't really stand a chance. But, since this is just training, you figure you could just use this piece of paper you rolled up into a... Well, dang. Right then. Tron wrote, "Gotta ask if Sigrid has any enemies. Also inquire about the Thieves Guild." What about thieves? Even if she's the nicest person on Nern, she still has a lot of valuables stowed away in that guild hall. Wouldn't there be thieves interested in breaking in to take it? Ilden says he understands your concern, but assures you Sigrid is more than capable of taking care of herself. Kvatch has never had much in the way of thievery. This is a mountaintop city with one way in and out. If a heist goes south or the guards catch wind, that thief's only escape will be through the main gate. Even if you had a career criminal in town, he reckons they wouldn't be willing to take a chance like that. Now come on, swing that around so you can see what sort of technique you've got already. He snickers at your best efforts and remarks that he'll at least have no problem finding something to teach you. Rude? Did he just stop the swinging with one finger? Wow, alright, Ilden says stop before you hurt yourself. You're swinging that thing around like a monkey with a switchblade. You tell him you're sorry, you're kinda new to this. He says it's alright, we all had to start somewhere. He explains that the club is a heavy weapon. It's gotta be slow to start, slow to start, hard to steer, and once it gets up to speed, hard to stop. You can't just whip it around like a fencing foil. You have to get a feel for the weapon's weight and guide it, not force it. Let it swing, follow through, and get it back to somewhere it can swing again. Like, just let it go in circles, you ask? Sure, he says, if it helps. Get a feel for the weapon and start working with its weight rather than against it. Lake wrote, don't forget to ask about Stephane while you have the chance. Questions like, how did that churlish priest come to be working with Sigrid anyway, and what does he actually do? Vince wrote, I don't think you'll get to know much more about Sigrid. What about Stephane? Perhaps there's something useful about him you should know. While you swing around with your tree branch, you ask Ilden about the skeevy priest boy he mentioned earlier. What's the deal with him anyway? Like, as far as you can tell, he and Sigrid are the only people in town associated with the Mages Guild. Did he move into Kvatch the same time as her? Nah, Ilden says, that boy has been around town for ages. Real ornery fellow. Mostly spends his time away from other folks. At least folks that ain't Sigrid. Ilden says that he doesn't know much about him beyond that. What's his relationship with Sigrid? Are they friends, or is he just some kind of second in command, or what? Ilden admits he doesn't know much about it. As far as he knows, the boy's just another admirer, except he has a Mages Guild membership, of course. A guild membership. Which would mean he has a key to the Kvatch Mages Guild, right? Probably, Ilden shrugs. Can't imagine why he wouldn't. Do you know where I might be able to find him during the day? Anywhere that I could, like, possibly catch him when he's alone? Ilden says that he quite frankly doesn't keep track of these things, though he has to say, you're starting to ask some mighty strange questions about this guy. Is there anywhere you're going with this? You tell them that you're just incredibly attracted to skeevy priests. Like the skeevier they are, the more irresistible you find them. You assure him this entire line of inquiry is purely sexual in nature. So how do I kill people? Ilden tells you that's a question he can answer. You look to be getting a handle on the weapon, but if you want to do any serious damage, you have to put your body into it more than you were. Your arm is just going to guide the club. The force is coming from the ground up. He suggests that you loosen your grip a little and try a swing at him. Those dual arms aren't going to do much on their own, so make up for it by shifting your weight forward on the swing. Less arm, more torso. You nod and tell him you think you can do that, yeah? He deflected it pretty easily, but she's certainly trying. Coffee Man wrote, geez, Kitty, what do you weigh? Wow, rude. Continue practice. Crazy 8 wrote, training montage, go! Is this the training montage, or... is it loading? Or is there not a montage? Okay. Holstergaard wrote, Katia, train hard, train well. You did great last time you had someone to teach/help you learn. Maybe that is the secret to unlocking your potential, to have someone train you. Gavin Fox wrote, remember, with the Mazer Club, don't aim at the shield, aim at the head and the arms, or equivalent striking limbs to lower their effectiveness. And remember, guide with your arm, force with your body. Push off against the ground more. That's right. Practical Thoughts wrote, Katia, focus. You're getting better with a club, but you've mostly been standing still. Remember to move and swing with control. Gavin Fox wrote, yes, you need to focus on moving in, dealing damage, and dancing away from retaliation. Otherwise, you're leaving yourself open. And lead right into the next swing. Don't stop and wait. Vary your lines of attack. Keep moving. Lieutenant Bartram wrote, try holding it with both hands when you swing, like you're about to obliterate a big rock with a sledgehammer. Norcom wrote, I want to see you smash that shield, cat. Put some oomph into it. If you're coming in two-handed, spread your hands out more. Right, like that. Ruin. Well, Ilden continues, he reckons that's probably enough for one day. Frankly, he's surprised that twig lasted as long as it did, being something that fell out of a tree. You were hoping to get a bit more practice in, but yeah, you tell him you probably have some other stuff you should be concerning yourself with. That felt good, though! Like, learning to do something and being able to let off a little steam in the process, just knowing that you can kind of do something you couldn't before, that's something really confidence-ing about that. He tells you not to let it go to your head. Having a passably decent swing is important, but there's a lot more to proper combat. Blocking, responding to attacks, moving around, breaking through defenses, not to mention keeping your armor in shape, keeping your weapons sharp and whatnot. You know how to tell me you understand. After a bit of hesitation, you half chuckle and confess that while you're no fighter, you actually tried your hand at armor repair once years ago. You read about it in this book and thought, like, maybe it was something you could handle. So you saved up a week's worth of stolen silverware and got one of those little hammers for pounding dents out of metal? Figured you'd repair some things, get some practice. Maybe get really good at it someday. Eventually you managed to find some knight who wanted his armor fixed up while you went bar hopping. You were all excited about it, and then as soon as you tried to pound one of the fasteners back into shape, your little hammer snapped in half. You spent like 2 hours freaking out trying to fix it before the knight came back, got mad that nothing was done, took his armor, stormed out, so yeah, armorer wasn't for you. Of course, it wasn't a total loss. You did manage to pocket a gauntlet before he left, which found its way to a pawn shop and soon was converted to a couple of rounds of ale. But really, thanks. You know, for treating me like an actual human being, or, not human, I mean two-legged thing. I think I need that every once in a while. Ilden says it was his pleasure. Just try to take what he taught you and use it to not get eaten by monsters. Tell him you'll try, but can't make any promises. Anyhow, it's getting late. Old people late. You ought to head off. Good seeing you, Desert Cat. Likewise, you say. Right. See ya. And, Desert Cat, you ask? Just seemed fitting, he says. Got a twinge of old Alaker in your voice. Oh, you say, yeah, I hadn't really heard that before and aren't sure what it means, but you guess it sounds cool? Head 6 wrote, Katia, if you're thinking about killing Stephane, you should probably start thinking about how you're going to dispose of the body. Stormy Dragon wrote, don't do what you're thinking of doing to Stephane. He's not actually done anything to you. Does he deserve to pay for Sigrid's crimes? Especially when he may be under duress as well? You said you wanted to be a better person. Murderer is not an improvement. Alright, back down to business to defeat the Huns. You're not planning to kill anyone, but you're thinking this through and it is likely you might have to defend yourself. If you are trying to circumvent Sigrid's evil machinations and get that package back, you risk causing her some big problems and, not gonna lie, you probably come across as pretty killable already. You can't imagine that it will get much better once you start giving someone an incentive to get rid of you. You're committed to this though. Probably sounds like a bad idea, but Quoviv is still counting on you to finish this job, and it would be a good idea to show where you can, so technically, this plan is more like a good idea with some rough edges. Extremely rough edges that involve being murdered. But you're sure you can figure out some way around those. Draeger wrote, 1. Find some clothes. Complete! Retrieve Quoviv's package. Learn about an unusual dream. Even what you're doing right now needn't go into the quest log. It's just a side quest or like even a stepping stone for entry number 2. Do not forget to learn about that dream. Yeah, the dreams aren't something you can easily forget about. It's probably about 3:16 and you don't really have any direct leads on Stephane right now. You could check for him at the chapel, but you didn't see him there this morning and you'd rather catch him when he's alone if you can. For the time being, you feel like your biggest priority should be finding someone to analyze these dreams, finding some references on alchemy so you can maybe counteract whatever Sigrid has in store, or finding out what's up with your amulet so you can not burn to death when you least expect it, you guess. You're not sure what it says about you that these 3 things are roughly equal importance in your mind. I think that's probably a good stopping point. Even though the episode itself wasn't 20 minutes, but it's going to be 20 minutes when I'm done blabbing. So, this has been Anachi Sasuke. This was episode something teen, I think, of Let's Read Prequel. In the next episode, we're going to go try some of those things that were just said. I don't know which ones, because it's been years since I've read this comic, and I don't remember what's going to happen next. So, if you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you need to do either one of those things, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later.